A very good evening to you all. Honorable Speaker said, before I start, this is the very reason as to why Minister for Economy called on opposition to come for a budget brief. Had they actually attended the budget brief, this kind of question would not have been raised in this August House. Opposition, they try to actually act smart, but to Honorable Ratu Suliano Mati Tambua, the reduction in the budget is just because there won't be any international matches. Due to COVID-19, travel restrictions apply. Nobody would be traveling to Fiji, nor the Fiji teams would be traveling abroad to participate in overseas matches. So why do we need that budget?
That's where the reduction is.
That's where the reduction is. As simple as that. Honorable Speaker, opposition needs to realize they have been criticizing the budget for past 6 years. But what they fail to realize that they keep criticizing and Fiji Fest continues to deliver. They need eyes to see what's happening around them. I really don't understand how long it will take this set of expired politicians to realize they are doing no good to the parliamentary process nor to the nation. Every year, we come with a budget. Sometimes they oppose, sometimes they walk out, clearly showing how confused they get whenever they hear a budget or see our budget. I will give a typical example. Our opposition member, who claims to be a champion of the tourism industry, ran out of words during his speech today and didn't even speak about tourism industry. This clearly shows what happens to them when Fiji Fest starts to deliver. Since opposition members are so good at walking out, it's almost 9 p.m., they can go home and rest. Honorable Speaker said, I rise in support of a very understanding 2020-2021 national budget. A budget that understands the need of its people. A budget that ensures that families affected with COVID-19 crisis are able to have food on their table. A budget that understands that while on one side we need to give immediate help to people, on the other side we need to bring our economy back on track. A very understanding budget, as delivered by Honorable Minister for Economy and Attorney General, has put our people at the center. This is the difference, Honorable Speaker. We, Fiji Fest, put Fijians at the center of the budget. And opposition members try to place themselves at the center. That's why they are not able to digest such a considerable budget. Our measures on protecting livelihoods is based on helping people to stay employed and business to stay viable. With an eye on the future, this budget sets out a strategy to build a bridge to recovery. We can go far length to pick points to oppose this budget, but let's look at the budget with more holistic approach. The investment in our future must continue. And I must ask this question: who are the future of this country? We are. We, the 70% young Fijian, are the future of the country, and not the vintage politicians from the other side. Investment in this 70% population must continue in order to build a more sustainable and resilient economy for Fiji. I applaud the government and the Minister for Economy for continued budgetary support towards the future of Fiji and the young Fijians. The investment in this sector will never fail. Investment in our young generation will never fail. Much has been said about housing grants in a negative way. But what wrong have we done as young Fijians if we want to build our house for my family? And if my government, my Fiji Fest government, is supporting me, what's wrong in that? We are educated, and thanks goes to free education. We have tertiary qualification, thanks to TELS and toppers. We, the young Fijians, have employment thanks to open merit recruitment system. At this juncture, Honorable Speaker, it is through such policies we see that recruitment is done on basis of merit and not on nepotism. If you go to government agencies today, you see so many young employed because these young Fijians and their hard work matters to this government. Unlikely previously, when civil servants were employed on basis of nepotism, skin color, race, and gender. Today, in this ever-changing time, we have a very young and vibrant workforce in public sector. Because of such policies, we are able to feed our family, we are able to drive our family around because we can afford a car. So what's wrong if the government of the day is helping me out to build a house which I can call my home? What else as a young Fijian I need to ask from a government? This is not just about me. This is about those 70% young Fijian stories who are successful Fijians. Disasters comes and goes. Crisis comes and goes. That does not mean all resources should be diverted to one sector of country's economy. One of the best investment a country can do in terms of building its human resources, and in a country where 70% of the population fall under age of 40, Fiji First government is just doing that. We, the 70% of the population, needs sustainability. We need our future to be protected. We need this assistance today to build a better tomorrow. And don't worry, once we have a stable future, we will pay the debt. We need to go away from the culture of spoon feeding. We need policies to enable us to self-sustain ourselves. I, for one, young Fijians, I didn't mention youth, young Fijians below age of 40. I, for one, on behalf of all those Fijians who are building their future by the policies passed by Fiji First government, thank Honorable Prime Minister for the vision he has for Fijians. I would also like to thank the government on behalf of young and vibrant civil servants for not reducing our pay. While some politicians and political pundits call for pay reduction, Fiji First government places the needs of civil servants first. Honorable Speaker, we are not in the business of printing money. One way we can push money into circulation is through civil servants' pay. Honorable Speaker said, government bills for civil servant pay is close to 4 million daily. Civil servants, they spend their salaries, which get circulated internally in our economy, which thus boosts our businesses and people remain employed. The moment government had reduced the salary, civil servants would have gone from spending mode to saving mode. Just imagine what drastic situation would have been created by reducing the salary of civil servants. All of a sudden, the cash flow within the economy would have vanished. Exactly what we're seeing in tourism sector, thus leading to closure of business and unemployment would have reached the sky. How would have that helped our current situation, which has already been ruined by COVID-19? I would also like to place on record my appreciation to the Most Honorable Prime Minister for his continued confidence and support, and to other members of the Cabinet and Fiji First Caucus, unfortunately I cannot say the opposition members, who have all accepted the need for such a stimulating budget and have provided valuable advice and support along the way. The fortune of workers and businesses are tangled. By keeping the economy stable and strengthen the social resilience, by investing in upgrading the skills of our people and transforming our business, the economy can recover more strongly. I also wish to acknowledge the support and guidance of all those who have made it possible to continue in the discharge of my responsibilities in the Ministry of Employment, Productivity, Industry Relations, Youth and Sports. Honorable Speaker said, this year the budget debate discussion can be safely described as groundbreaking. For the first time, we have carried out the function within the context of recently updated fiscal governance framework. The enhanced framework established through the amendments of the tax scheme and announcement of various initiatives in ensuring that the struggling Fijians are back to work in the industry they love and rely on. The historic nature of this pandemic and economic downturn has made it necessary to come up with such an innovative budget. It is a budget of the time and for the times, a budget that addresses the issues for today, for economic and social well-being of all Fijians, for tomorrow and beyond. I support the budget for the effective response to the impact of current pandemic and responsible allocations. These are areas of particular interest to stakeholders in my portfolios, including workers, employers, investors, and our youth and young Fijians. I am pleased to note the priority given to bringing back jobs. During these difficult times of crisis, our country is facing, and to brace for the new normal, the budget has perfectly announced Fiji's biggest ever tax cut. This budget is going to safeguard those who are unemployed and those whose hours and salaries has been reduced. Honorable Speaker said, now I turn to specific remarks relating to areas of employment, productivity, industry relation that falls under my portfolio. One must realize that Ministry of Employment is all about service and not capital project oriented ministry. I had various meetings with my ministry officials and they have assured me that since government has thought about them and their family by not reducing their pay, they will be giving an additional 100% towards their work to ensure that their day-to-day operation is not affected within the ministry and the service that is offered is of high quality. My ministry is working towards implementing various strategies and carry out substantial internal realignment, which is going to significantly reduce the operational cost and bring about efficiency in our services. My ministry, in summary, is well served across its diverse range of impact areas by the budget. I welcome the budget.
Order.
We work with each other. We don't fight like opposition.
Order.
Yeah. I welcome the budget for its care for all Fijian families and the provision of various initiatives and the scheme that is going to uplift existing businesses, create new business opportunities, and ensure a decent employment for the people. We will definitely get the best value for whatever we spend, and that spending will be relevant, sustainable, and lead to short, medium, and long-term gains. Honorable Speaker said, as the timely and welcome budget allocation indicates for the commemoration events, Fiji will be celebrating 50 years of independence this year. This is an opportune time to reflect on the past 50 years as well as on the contemporary situation. The current situation due to COVID-19, first time in 50 years, means a complete reordering of priorities and postponement of some important projects, which is unavoidable. In supporting this extraordinary budget that saves lives, protects livelihood, and actively builds a bridge to the prosperous future, I welcome the allocation plans and robust policies for our workers or investors and for our employers. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Members, I thank you all and reiterate my strong support for the 2020-2021 national budget. Thank you.
Honourable members, I thank the Assistant Minister for Employment, Productivity, Industrial Relations, Youth and Sports for his contribution